There is a temptation to constantly be working, constantly improving, constantly getting better at whatever that thing might be, constantly scheming about ways to level up in your job or your skill. Hey girl, so glad that you tuned in. My name's Bethany, and this is the Make Up Your Mind channel. You're listening to episode number 40. Whether you're actually putting on your makeup, maybe you're getting ready for work or school, I know that when this episode airs, it is the end of July, and you're probably on summer break if you're in school. So wherever life finds you today, I hope that you remember that there are people that are in the world that are for you, cheering you on to succeed. Today, I hope that I get to be one of those people standing like a cheerleader on the sideline of your life, reminding you and helping you to make up your mind all day long about the small things that actually add up to huge things later on. If you're just joining us, we are walking through a series right now called Social Norms. We're talking through all kinds of things in society that have been made normal that maybe shouldn't be. Definitely go back and check out the rest of the episodes in this series because you'll want to listen to them. Today's episode is called The Hustle of Culture. So be sure to like and subscribe, give me some stars, give me some shares wherever you're consuming this content. Now let's get to it. I recently opened a new Ipsy package that just came in the mail for July, and in it was a new eyeliner. And you guys, I don't know if you know this, but I wear eyeliner, especially on days where I'm on camera. For my other job, I lead worship at my church on Sundays. So Sundays are super long days for me. Like, I'm doing my makeup at 5:30 in the morning. So you can imagine that by the end of 2 services, sometimes 3, at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I am looking a little bit worse for wear. Like, we're talking, my eyeliner is like pretty much worn off, or it's like all underneath my eyes and I'm looking like a raccoon, especially like since it's been so sunny out. I get all squinty and then my eyeliner gets all underneath my eyes and I look like just a homeless raccoon, you guys. It's so bad. But I tried this new eyeliner. It's called Koki Professional. I don't know if I'm saying that right. You can look in the show notes for the links that I posted, but it is a precise long wear liquid eyeliner, and it's got a really precise tip. So for those of you who aren't watching the video and are just listening to this on the podcast, you'll have to check out the link that I post. This stuff is amazing, you guys. It lasts the whole day and it actually still looks really good by the end of my Sundays, which is honestly a miracle. So if you're an eyeliner wearer when you want to put your best foot forward, kind of like me, you should definitely give this a try. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it a bunch of other places too, but I will post the Amazon link in the show notes. Okay, ladies, let's talk about hustle culture. We've been going through this series on social norms, and we've been covering all kinds of topics from pornography to entitlement, all things that our culture has been trying to make normal that are probably harmful behaviors and ways of living that shouldn't be normal. For me, I think hustle culture is one of those things that kind of rides under the radar. It's something that you don't really think of as that unhealthy. It's definitely something that is more attractant to certain personality types rather than others. But let me tell you what, I am one of those personality types. So I think we should talk about this. I really believe that hustle culture permeates how we think as Americans. Our nation was founded on this ideal that we would all be able to pursue our own happiness. You've all heard that, right? The pursuit of happiness. It's something that was built into how we think as Americans. And it's not innately bad, but I do think that it might be the basis of what started this whole thing with hustle culture. By definition, hustle culture is this lifestyle that teaches that overworking is the only way for you to earn respect, whether it be from yourself or others. It's this idea that if you aren't working towards something, then you're not accomplishing anything and you're not actually becoming more valuable to others. Hustle culture gives us this feeling of kind of a guilt complex that if we're not actually accomplishing something, or if we're spending too much time on something that's not work related, like, I don't know, relaxing, that we actually are lessening our value. It also tells us that any kind of hobbies or things that we might actually just do for fun should end up being monetized or give us some other kind of gains in life for it to be worth us spending our time on. These gains might be wealth, but they also might be accomplishments, recognition, respect, anything else that's going to give us more gains. Okay, so now that we've identified what hustle culture is, can you see its effects all around you? Just take a minute, think about it. Can you start to see it permeate maybe your mentalities in life? I know that I have a younger audience for this channel, and some of you guys might not have jobs yet. Maybe you don't work yet for a living. Maybe you're just in school. But I know that there are some of you that do have jobs. And I know that the majority of my audience is going to have some kind of dream for their lives. You're going to have some kind of big goal or aspiration for where you want to go in life and what you want to do. If you haven't felt this temptation yet, there is a temptation to constantly be working, constantly improving, constantly getting better at whatever that thing might be. Constantly scheming about ways to level up in your job or your skill. For me, if I'm honest, I can even say that this channel is kind of a hustle for me. And that's me being like uber honest. I think I can tend towards wanting to constantly be gaining respect and honor from other people. For me, it's less about constantly wanting to gain money and monetary value, but it's more about wanting to gain value in the eyes of others. But it's still a hustle because I still come home from my other job to my other job or ministry or hobby, whatever you want to look at this as. The temptation for me is to work harder so that I can get more successful, to work more hours so that I can get better, to hustle more so that I can get noticed. This is the mentality of our society. Maybe you don't feel like you fit in that category at all. Maybe that's totally not you. Maybe you're totally comfortable with where you're at in life and you don't at all relate to this concept of constantly striving, like I've been trying to describe to you. Good for you. I wish I could laugh at that. But I guarantee you that at some point or time in your life, there's going to be a moment where you feel the pressure of hustle culture. Because it's all around us. Maybe it'll be from your job, from your school, from your friend group, from your family, or even from your hobby. So let me ask you, what do we do with that? Like, how do we have boundaries when this whole thing is constantly swirling all around us? Well, I can tell you what happens when we don't give ourselves boundaries from the hustle is we burn out. And girl, let me tell you what, burnout is real. I used to totally think that burnout is like just for the weak, for those who like can't keep up. Like you're obviously at a lower level than me if you can't keep up with this pace. But burnout is a real thing. It's what happens and we just completely mentally, emotionally, spiritually unplug because we've overworked ourselves and overdone it. Have you ever been there? I definitely have. Even though I don't even think I believed in burnout at the time, I was definitely burned out. But here's the thing, no matter where you're at on this scale from burnout to hustling real hard, we need to give ourselves healthy boundaries. Let me tell you what, it is the only way to exist in this world that is constantly pushing us to hustle more, to get farther, to work harder. We have to have boundaries. And you know what? We have to start when we're young so that when you get to be old, like me, you already know what to do and it's more second nature. I'm going to give you guys a couple of things that I've learned that are healthy boundaries that give me a little bit a sense of separation from this hustle culture. Now, let me tell you what, I'm still not an expert at these, but they are a really good place to start. So let's do them together, all right? Number 1, bedtime. Ooh, some of you hate me right now because you hate this conversation, but here I am telling you all about it. Bedtime is probably the most important thing for setting healthy boundaries. Some of us only probably get like 4, maybe 6, hopefully, hours of sleep. But studies have shown that if you are young, probably 25 and under, you need to have 8 hours of sleep. To be honest, I even think I'm 32. I need to have 8 hours of sleep, you guys. We have to have sleep to restore our minds, our bodies, to function as a healthy human. You know what, you guys? We make better decisions when we get more sleep. So give yourself a bedtime and stick to it. And no, it's not 2 a.m. That's all I'm going to say about that. You're welcome. Preach over. Number 2, put time boundaries around everything, around how long you work, around how long you study, around how long you do this project, around how long you play, and around when you go to bed. Put boundaries. When we have allotted times for the activities that we do, we actually get way more done. If I give myself 1 hour to finish a certain project, I will 9 times out of 10 get it done in that hour when I put my mind to it. If I give myself 2 hours to study for my history test tomorrow, 9 times out of 10, I will study much harder because I know that there is an end time to that studying. When I purposefully give myself playtime, I actually sleep harder, which causes me to have a better bedtime. You guys, it's not rocket science, but it is helpful. Number 3, Sabbath, a day of rest, complete rest for my mind, my body, and my soul, all 3. Jesus gave us a day of rest on purpose. And you know what he said? He said that man does not serve the Sabbath, but rather the Sabbath was meant to serve man. What does that mean? It means that he didn't give us this rule of taking a day of rest just so that we would have a rule to follow. We're not there to just serve the rules, right? But actually the rule is meant to serve us because he knows that if we don't do that, if we don't make a specific time for our mind, body, and soul to rest, we will overwork. We will burn out. So learn it now as a young person. Take a full day off from doing your homework. I know that some of you guys don't do that because you're homeworkaholics. But give yourself that time and space, and I bet you anything, if you do that, you'll actually do better on the days that you do get all your homework done. Now, don't go and tell your mom that I said to not do your homework because that is not at all what I just said. Hear me what I actually just said. We need that rhythm of rest in our lives because if not, God knows we'll burn out. God himself led the way in this. He showed us the example. It says in Genesis 1, when he created the heavens and the earth, everything seen and unseen that he created, on the 7th day, he rested. He didn't do anything more, but he sat back and observed the beauty of creation. God doesn't put anything in his word on accident. I believe that he showed us the example of what to do even on our Sabbath. Why don't we sit back and observe creation and let our souls be recharged, our minds and our bodies recharged with the beauty that's around us? So for a moment, let's take a look at our lives. Let's do an internal inspection of where we've let hustle culture creep in to every way that we think. And let's choose right now in this moment to take a different stance. One of health, one of dedication to work hard, but yet to balance that with rest. If you, like me, struggle with this mentality of striving, then I want you to take a minute right now, wherever you're at, and just pause. I want you to clear your mind, and I actually want you to repeat this after me. Take a deep breath. Deep breath. Repeat this after me. I am not my work. I am not a sum total of all of my studies, knowledge, or accomplishments. I am me, just who I was created to be, perfectly loved, not for what I do, but for who I am. And that is actually enough. Thanks, Jesus, for that moment. Thanks for speaking to us. We want to receive that from you right now. Girl, thank you so much for joining me today again on the Make Up Your Mind channel. As always, be sure to subscribe wherever you are consuming this content. Make sure you share it with somebody that you think of that you can bring along on this journey together. Remember that you are loved deeply, you are seen, and you are so valuable in this world. And until I see you again in a couple of weeks, I will catch you on the socials. Till next time, catch you later.